This is OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Here we go, OverDrive off and running. TSN 1050 on the TSN app, your home smart speaker up on TSN 2. Of course, streaming live on YouTube Live up on TSN's YouTube channel. Brian Hayes, the O-Dog, Jeff O'Neill, Jamie Noodles McLennan. Look at us all dolled up here for a little, I wouldn't call it a photo shoot.
Action shoot.
Action shoot.
Movie work.
Yeah, doing movie work.
But there was no, I have to.
They took the dialogue completely away from us.
What commercial was it that we did?
That was for the Source.
Yes.
That was the Source.
That's probably, that's some great acting.
Yeah.
That was terrible acting, the Source commercial. Do we even have that? Like
we got to pull
We got to
that
go
up.
way back.
That was back in the day. Like, I think Steph was in there.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think the Source is around anymore. We may have personally ended the Source. That's how
They're
bad.
done?
I don't know if it's
I'm
around
sure they're
anymore.
around. Like, what if they're like in the mall across the street? We're like, yeah, they're not around.
Maybe it's a booming industry. I don't know.
Dude, you might be right because I haven't seen one.
I thought they got
There was one
swallowed
in
up or
Collingwood and
something.
it got replaced.
Yeah, look that up, dude. Yeah, I feel like maybe the Source isn't kicking anymore.
If they are, there goes our shot at having the Source on board ever again.
Very true.
Wow.
We want redemption, though. If you're still around and you want to get back in the fold and we can start shooting some stuff here, we can make something happen.
Wasn't there a line that we had to deliver, either you or me or something like that?
It was Hayes. It was
outrageous.
like, yeah, nice tie or something.
Well, Love It, Thanks came from that shoot.
That's
Love It,
right.
Thanks. But it was, you and I were terrible. Oh, didn't really have a line. And
You remember when he was blurted something out so loud that,
Yeah.
like they had to shut production?
Oh, it was like Brando in Apocalypse Now. Like you were just kind of in the corner, like freaking, like creeping people out. And you didn't really bring much to the table, if I can recall correctly.
It was outrageous.
Yeah, it was really bad acting.
We all had one. It wasn't that difficult of a thing. We all had like one line.
Yeah, I know. And it was so, like, unnatural.
Yes, it
And
was forced.
it got to a point where we were doing something for TSN, and they basically said this is
Yeah.
this is a silent film.
I think I was talking to Steph, and she
There's
was
no
like,
dialogue.
Did you guys say anything? And she said, no idiot lines or anything. And I said, no, we didn't say anything. We were just walking around, and they were doing shots of us.
You're right, though. Steph was in that.
Yes.
Steph was in it, but Steph didn't have a line either. But she wasn't a good actor. It was horrible acting.
She's terrible.
Yeah, she like rolled her eyes, and
Yeah.
that wasn't very natural.
She had to
either.
like open a backpack or something.
yeah,
was
maybe
something
that's what it
outrageous,
was.
but it
Okay,
was-
so the Source is now Best Buy Plus. So Best Buy Express.
Okay.
Best Buy swallowed up the
So we
Source
didn't
'cause
put them
our-
out of business.
Well, I don't think we helped. I think that might have been the first time ever there was like a campaign, and they immediately regretted everything they were associated
Imagine the
with.
person that put the disc in to watch the final product, and they were like, "This is what we're going
This
with."
is our campaign.
Huge budget for these. We got these guys.
This is going to boost the stock of the company.
There is some lines.
These guys.
I'm telling you, like I got to go back on that. Now you got me thinking. Like we'll have to watch it.
It's been a long time. I think it was Leafs lunch. I'm pretty
Absolutely,
sure it
yeah.
was 10 or 11 years ago.
I would wonder, like my hair would be different, a little bit more hair.
Absolutely.
Like, oh,
We got to go find it. It's somewhere in the archives here. We'll find it.
yeah,
We find it today. We'll play it.
Yeah,
Doogie,
I would love to.
send someone a note from TSN and just say where can we find it?
Because
and
I think
we'll-
our
and we'll play
acting
it.
today was outstanding. I think our acting today was
I
outstanding.
thought it was pretty good. Like Noodles,
There's
you,
no talking.
well, you had to walk,
I had
and they
to
were
walk.
getting rattled with you because you're walking too fast.
I was walking to.
You could pick up on their frustration. They're like, this idiot will not slow down.
But I always love when they do like they did one that looked perfect, and then they're like, "Yeah, okay, again."
Let's just do it again. And
That's
like
when
you
I
said,
always say, "Why again? What was wrong with that one?"
Yeah, it did seem like it was pretty good, most of them, but
I felt
you
like
had the
I
most
walked-
responsibility.
Yeah, but walking. The thing is I'm not the greatest walker. I've got a hunchback, a weird long arm. Like I
Yeah.
should have been the last guy walking around. I should just be sitting here, crunched over in my spot. Instead, they've got me walking towards the camera. The camera's
Right.
like, "Don't look at me." Well, who am I supposed to look at?
Yeah, you're
Like,
right.
Where am I looking?
They should have had a run through to see who was the best like
Walker.
walker, like a pure walk scene. Because we
I feel
could
like
have.
you would be, because you're tall and like you would strut a little bit. You got
Yeah.
this.
I don't know, but
strut
it's
to
so
you.
difficult when something as simple as walking, when they say just walk and act normal. That's
know.
when you act like a donkey and you don't act normal.
You're right. You start overthinking
The
something.
minute
that's
they say
simple.
just act normal, don't look at the camera. Of course you're going to look at the camera. Whatever they say, don't do something or act like this,
Yeah.
you don't do it.
No, you're right. It's Wayne and Garth when they
was
go
outrageous.
prime time and
That
just
was-
act natural.
I walked around. It was like 10 minutes. I did the same walk, 30 shots.
Well, it's en route, man. We'll see the finished product, I think, in the next couple of weeks. Again, the tagline stuff, a lot of people sending in messages. We urge people to continue to contribute to that. We're looking for the new tagline for OverDrive. And I think if you were, to come up with a tagline of the current sports scene in Toronto, I don't think this Bo Bichette injury news is going to help.
No.
Like it should. That's a good question. Like what would be the tagline for Blue Jay fans right now? You got 19 games left. They still have a 2-game lead on the Yankees. They have the tie break. So they basically have a 3-game lead on the Yankees. But Bo Bichette is on the 10-day IL, retroactive to Sunday. He's likely to miss 8, maybe 9, maybe more games.
2 words.
Maybe half the games left. Bo Bichette will not be available for you.
Do we have is it underpants cam? Do we do that?
I think that's probably
And
appropriate.
maybe it's
Activate underpants cam.
Activate
Maybe it's
underpants
just
cam.
a clean sheet. Like it could be just white and feeling good.
It's not.
Or maybe it's white and it's 24 degrees
You
out.
just
and
have a
gotta jump in
guy
the
like with a
vehicle.
baseball hat that hits a button on his belt and underpants cam is activated.
Mhm. I think it's
This
right in
dude,
the middle.
He's been their best guy. Like,
Yeah, he's been
this
phenomenal
could be
for him.
disastrous if he goes down.
Yeah, listen, they're still in the driver's seat.
They are.
They're a really good team. We had Tim Kirkchin on yesterday prior to this news becoming official, and Tim's completely objective, has covered baseball his whole life, said he likes the Jays the most
But you
and
know-
thinks they'll win the division.
You know what worries me?
What do you think he would say if you asked him today, though?
Well, it's a valid question without Bichette for the next 8 or 9 games.
And this isn't just reserved to your comment. It's reserved to any fan base, anywhere, in any sport. The minute a fan has to say, they're still in the driver's seat, that means they're concerned that the driver's seat is being chased, which they are. But the minute you say you're in the driver's
Someone sent the video, and it's so cringeworthy.
It is.
We'll play it later.
Yeah,
It's so awful and horrible.
it's outrageous. I was
What,
watching-
but no, it's the Source commercial.
is-
It's
yeah,
so bad.
It's there.
But you're right. It's
the
a
minute
it's a
that
great
you have
point.
to admit, like,
Great point.
It's like, hey, just act natural.
Right.
Don't look at the camera. We're still in the driver's
It's a
seat.
great point.
The minute you say it, it's like, okay, we're thinking we're not in the driver's
Right.
seat. Because if you have to say it, you're thinking about, well, what if we're not in the driver's seat anymore?
It's 100%. It's such a great point. No one in Florida following the Panthers has ever said that over the last 2 or 3 years. No one in Kansas City that's a Chiefs fan goes, wow, we're still in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
They know they're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, they just know they're that
They're the
good.
Chiefs,
Yeah.
right? They're the Panthers. Like, they get it. With LeBron was in his prime. No one was
Yeah.
like, we're still in the driver's seat. We got
The only
LeBron.
people that say that are ones that are crapping their pants.
Yes,
Yes.
worried that they may soon be
That-
in a different seat.
But again, it's not reserved for this. It's
No, of
just-
course not.
It's
It
every
applies
fan
to
base.
so
It's
many
like,
teams.
Man, we're still feeling good, but like there's that level. Now the Jays can quiet it down. Couple wins in a row, feel pretty good,
Absolutely.
and you stretch that lead, and then you are in the driver's
They
seat.
literally
still
are in the driver's seat.
But the fact that we have to point it out, it's concerning because you look in the rear view and there's Judge's face.
Well, and that's what I think makes it more daunting. If it was Baltimore 2 games back, if it was Tampa,
Yeah.
even if it was the Red Sox,
Yeah.
but it's the Yankees, and you know who they are and what they represent. They've got a
Yeah.
pretty soft schedule. That said, the Jays have 12 of their final 19 games at the Rogers Center. Houston's a good team, for
Yeah.
sure. They're a good team, but then you got Tampa, you've got Boston at home. Boston at home, Tampa at home to close out the season. You presume Bichette's healthy at that point.
Dude, I don't like
Right.
that lineup, man, at all.
Well, it's a lot of divisional opponents,
I know.
right? Like, that's what you're going to face. You're going to
There's
face
always a
Baltimore and-
Tampa series in there at the end of the season that
I
just
know.
seems to be disastrous.
And they're playing for something, right? They're still playing for something. So the lineup's out. Bieber's on a mound tonight. And they have Ernie Clement playing short, Barger playing third, Lucas playing right. Joey Luperfito's been called up. He's playing tonight. So, like Springer into Lucas, into Guerrero, into Varsho, into Kirk, Barger, Clement, Luperfito, Jimenez. you take a name like Bichette out, it changes the whole complexion of your lineup.
Especially with the performance of late.
Yeah.
Like, he's been their stud.
And
he's been their Vladdy.
He's been their Vladdy.
Yeah.
And we saw it on Sunday when he didn't play. And Varsho didn't play. And their lineup was very thin.
Yeah.
You know, like it gets thin quickly, and it puts more pressure on Springer. It puts more pressure on Guerrero and Varsho and Kirk to keep playing. Puts pressure on Barger to come out of it.
Yeah.
You know, the way he has, I think, the last, 5 or 6 games. But with Bichette out, this time of year, it's going to put an emphasis on everyone else kind of pulling up their socks a little bit.
Dude, it's one guy. It's Vladdy. Like, he's got to be the man.
That's
you want
right.
500 sheets?
And
this is it, man. 10 days.
Like, it is their leadership group. It's the guys that you go, okay, we're going to rely on you. Pitching, I don't know, who's their ace, like their one guy. I mean, Gosman.
I think Gosman's been pitching the best since the All-Star break.
And he had his best outing, was it last or 2 ago? He was outstanding.
Well, his last few outings have been great, but on Friday night he was phenomenal.
Yeah, phenomenal.
At Yankee Stadium, he was phenomenal.
I think you look into your pitching, everything's there. Like,
Still in the
Kershaw
driver's
wasn't
seat.
wrong. Still in the driver's seat. But now you just pluck one name, and then you're going, okay, and then the pitcher with the back and the Tiger ass grab.
Scherzer and the Tiger ass grab. Although Tiger's out chipping balls
that
again.
text today from J-Mac was
the most insane thing
I almost
I've
wrote
ever
back
seen.
saying, I thought, we've seen this before.
No.
We've seen this before.
But it's
Tiger
not
back
insane
out.
from our boss. It's insane from the guy that wrote the tweet and said, the comeback is on. No. No, it isn't on at 50 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool to see him out there, but it's more about the Champions Tour now.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him at some majors. Go back to Augusta. Play Augusta. Play the Masters 10 more times and
Yeah, be
retire
Freddie
at 60.
Couples.
Exactly. Like, maybe you make the cut a few times, and that's really cool. And you understand you're never going to win again. That's all. I'm cool with that. Like, that's a natural transition. You're 50 years old now.
Didn't his son get an ace the other day? I thought I saw that.
Yes, he did. But
He
and
does
Charlie's
look good there.
He looks good. He looks dialed in. Right? He's got all his own gear. He's got everything set up.
Though,
and-
he's
It's
going to look
just like
brilliant.
Ernie Els said, like, go get in a cart and play with your buddies on the senior tour, and instead of grinding out to miss the cut, that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the short game. Like, that's not him letting drivers rip yet or really working on details of his game.
Yeah.
But it's got to be very liberating for him to get back out there.
It is.
For sure.
But still, it just that tweet or that text came through, and I was like, oh, we're not going to do this again, are we?
I'm not doing it.
You're not buying in?
I'm not
There's
doing it.
zero chance that
I'm not doing it.
I don't even care because the same thing happens every time. Ricky Fowler comes out and goes, I played with him the other day. He drove it farther than he ever has. And then people really start freaking out just over that comment. He goes, he drives it farther than he ever has.
Mm-hmm.
That one's coming.
That one's coming.
And then the video of a stinger, and then it's going to be like, he's back. Back to what?
Right. It is easy to get sucked in to guys of that magnitude. Yes, of a guy like Tiger Woods, it's not hard to drag you back in and kind of pine for what you used to have. But at some point, you got to let it go.
Doesn't he still win the money every year for the social?
Yeah, the
media?
player impact
the
fund or whatever. I think he still does if he can qualify.
Player impact program, $40 million for doing nothing.
He does nothing. he rehabs
for that text, for that tweet.
Right there will
That's
get
what he
him
does.
$10 million.
And there's poor guys out there that send videos. They give away free clubs, free bags.
Grinding.
And they don't even finish in the top 10.
You know which one I get sucked into is Bryson's got a pretty good fall. Did you see what he's been doing with those shots?
Yeah, he does it around his house.
So he did the trick shot the other day that landed in the cup, and he was giving away, I think, like a Bentley or something.
He did. He did it yesterday.
Yeah.
He got it into the cup yesterday. He's giving away that yellow Bentley in his living room.
Oh, that's cool.
It's really, I was like tracking it daily. I think it took him 12 days to get it in.
Mm-hmm.
And he got it in.
Well, he did the one like the hole-in-one over his house.
Yeah, this one was in his
year.
living room onto the second floor into a shot glass.
He gets it though. Like Bryson he's the only guy that went to live and actually followed through on some of his promises that he is going to try to do different things like YouTube and like have his personal brand blow up because the PGA Tour wouldn't allow for that to work that way.
Right.
And as a result, he's more relevant than he ever has been. He's going to be a prominent part of the Ryder Cup in 2 weeks. Like he qualified for the Ryder Cup team playing 4 events a year. basically. Like, all his live events didn't matter.
He's
and
still
a great player.
A really good player.
He's a great player, and he'll be great at the Ryder Cup. Like Beth Page Black, the New York, he'll feed into that crowd. It'll be outstanding.
Tough to get him a partner, though, because he plays such a wacky game of golf. Like, that's for real. Like,
yes.
Like
how do you pair up with that guy?
All over the map?
Right.
Or like
an alternate shot and stuff. It's a weird bomb and gouging with him. It's a little bit different.
What does he do that pisses everybody off?
It's not that he does anything that pisses anyone off. It's just he plays a different game. Like, he wants to hit it 7 million miles, and he just has this weird game. It's very unique, and not everybody would... Like, it might be just one of the most boring guys on the team. Like, I don't know who that would be, but it's hard to find that guy a partner.
Yeah, they'll find someone. You're right. It'll be someone that's...
It might be old Rusty Henley, where it's just simple. It's
Harris English or something like that. Just you're with that guy, and you got to deal with him.
And he'll have a social media team out there and everything.
More than likely, although the Ryder Cup's a little bit different. They all kind of buy in. It's team oriented. It's not individuals. So it'll be different. All right, Jeff Saturday coming up on the arrival of J.J. McCarthy last night. What a fourth quarter he had. What a second half. They flipped. Like, in the first half, Caleb Williams was phenomenal, and McCarthy looked like he should still be in college, and then it flipped in the second half, which is so typical of the Bears.
It was a weird game, though. It wasn't – I think over the weekend we were so spoiled with such great games, and then that game was kind of a seesaw. And we were talking about it off air. You're right. It got really good near the end.
It was a great finish.
It was a great finish.
It was a great finish. I found it weird and kind of difficult to get into after the Buffalo Bills game.
I know. It's a drop-off.
And it was like, really? Like,
yeah, it was a pretty significant drop-off.
But I watched every second of that one. Like, once
you couldn't miss the finish.
You're not going to
a good finish.
mess around with that one.
Yeah. So again, credit to J.J. McCarthy. That's a really, really cool story. And the Vikings look good. They look great in the second half, and the Bears look like the Bears, like they always do. So Jeff Saturday coming up on that game, and we start looking ahead already to week 2, Thursday night, Packers-Commanders at Lambeau. Yeah. That's a big, big game.
Got a commercial we got to get into?
Absolutely. We have access to it. We'll play it this afternoon. Some big news with MLSE today, and speaking of the Bills and what they're planning on doing in conjunction with the Buffalo Bills, we'll tell you about that and what it might mean for other teams here. And the Stars got an exclusive on some of the Kawhi demands back in 2019.
I told you, man.
There's one demand in particular that is absolutely insane, and I actually respect it so much because if you're going to put all your chips in the middle, you might as well get crazy. Yeah. We'll tell you about that detail. We'll get to it next.
Now, back to OverDrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
Confirm or deny later in the hour. We will play the Source commercial here in a few moments. All right, there's a big demand for it.
There is a line in there, though. There is. I told you the line. That's what blew everybody up.
Yes, I forgot about it. You're right, though.
Taping
what?
It's his line.
It's your line. You did have a line.
Tell me what it is.
Should we just play this thing?
Because
all right.
It's what blows everything up. We laughed 100 times because I would say my line, you'd say your line, and then he would jump in the middle. And it was like, yeah, like really loud. And we were like, okay, dial it back.
Yeah, Brando.
Yeah.
Marlon Brando. Apocalypse Now. All right. Okay, we're going to play this. The reason we brought it up is because we were doing something earlier today where, we're shooting something, and TSN basically said there can be no dialogue for these guys.
None for you guys.
They're so horrible at acting. They're so unnatural. It's so uncomfortable. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Where about 12 years ago, the Source, when they still existed, they had a brilliant idea. Let's get these guys to be the face of our campaign.
Before we put them out of business.
And then 6-7 years later, it just basically said we can't exist anymore. So this was the beginning of the end for the Source. This is the commercial from over a decade ago.
Man, I love those Bose headphones, and I've got to cash in on this Father's Day thing, but how do I avoid the paper ties routine?
Subtle hints, buddy. Works with the wife every time. I packed her lunch today.
Yep, it's all about the subtle hints.
Love it.
The Source is the place for Father's Day.
What's so bad about that?
Yep, it's all about the subtle hints. That's not bad.
It's not bad. They loved it, too. They were loving that line.
Love it.
Yeah, but the first time you said it, I think you yelled it out. We
There
all, like,
was.
broke up. We're like, what's going on?
Yeah. I do have a vague memory of you yelling that
All
the
about
first
the
time.
In totality, though, that's the worst. That's the worst
Ever. Of all time.
Yeah.
Like, that is
Somebody
so
signed off on
horrendous.
that and said we're going to roll with this.
Well, you know what's amazing is we must have done dozens and dozens of
We
takes.
did 100 takes.
That was the best one.
Yes.
That was the one that, like, this is all we've got. This is what we can use.
Sorry.
Here.
By the end, they just gave up and was like, do
Yeah.
what you can.
Terrible. Yep. It's all about the subtle hints.
The subtle hints.
Love it. Thanks.
I
Which
packed
was
my-
unnecessary.
Packed my wife's lunch today.
Yeah. Which
Even Steph weaseled her way in there.
Steph got in there. She got a cameo.
Yeah, but she was shaking her head. Like she probably jammed it up a few times too.
Oh, I'm sure they well, because remember she came in, they had put so much makeup on her for
Yeah.
the shot. Remember she was so uncomfortable with that. Remember her coming over, she's like, man, I am really, do I have too much makeup? We're like, no.
Not at all. Like Zsa Zsa Gabor.
Looks great.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's our old source.
Now we don't
commercial.
do that anymore. No more speaking in commercial.
No more. They've cut that out for us.
Love it. Thanks.
Yeah,
That's where it came.
we could have made, you know, what we should have done was made some. We needed Uncle Dennis here to negotiate for us, so we could make a demands list.
Dude, you missed the whole thing. That's our new tagline. Just OverDrive. Love it. Thanks.
Love it.
Love
Thanks.
it. Thanks.
I kind of like that idea.
Why not?
I like that idea.
Throwback.
So the Toronto Star, again, this is what I find interesting. What took so long for all this stuff to get out? I guess people are willing to talk now.
That's what it
The
is.
dust is settled. Ballmer's taking all the bullets.
The minute that got it's people are like, we have information, we don't want to be first. The minute it gets leaked, just pile on. Go ahead. Well, this is what I heard. This
Let's
is what I
get
know.
going. And
That's-
Kawhi and his camp are taking bullets. Again, I don't think Kawhi cares at all. He was at the U.S. Open over the weekend.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about anything. No one's taking
No,
money
somebody
away
tried to
from
give him money the way he wanted to. So
Yeah.
what's he going to say? No?
No. Ballmer's going to take a hit.
Yeah.
He's taking a hit. The Clippers are going to take a hit. But the Star wrote that this was Kawhi Leonard's camp's demands for the Raptors in 19. A trade for Paul George. We were all aware of that.
Yeah.
Now, again, why Paul George had to be the guy, again, speaks to why athletes cannot be involved in management because they have no idea what they're doing.
No.
None.
Yeah.
Paul George is a really talented player, never won anything, went to L.A., did nothing.
But are they best friends or something that
They're
I'm
both
missing?
from L.A. They grew up playing in L.A.
Yeah.
I think they were close enough. I don't know if they were best friends, but both L.A. guys both grew up playing against each other. Connections,
Yeah.
you know, maybe the same agent. I don't know exactly how deep it went, but that became clearly a part of Kawhi's world. For whatever reason, I need Paul George playing with me.
Right.
An extra $10 million in sponsorship income, bluntly stating, quote, we don't want to do anything, quote.
So nothing for it, just put 10 sheets in our pocket.
Yes.
That's a tree plant.
Find a tree planting company and give me $10 million.
Christie Pitts. That's what it was.
More or less.
I know it's desperation, and we talked about these negotiations, but as soon as I read that language, I'm gone.
And I think that's what Masai and company sniffed out. They said, this guy's not serious. Or Ballmer came over the top. He asked for 10 from the Raptors. Clearly, he asked for 28.
Yeah.
Or more, 40, 50 million
Ballmer said,
from the Clippers.
I'll put
And Ballmer
28
said, I don't care.
28 cash in your jeans. For
Absolutely.
Uncle Dennis. Have Uncle Dennis pick it up.
This is, I think, the bombshell
Of any
of
negotiation.
any
ever.
negotiation. And I have so much respect for it. Because if you're going to get crazy, and you're in a room with Masai and you're in a room with Larry Tannenbaum, you might as well get crazy.
Yeah.
Kawhi asked for partial ownership of the Maple Leafs. Do you know how insane that ask
That
is?
is-
I'll take some of the hockey team, too. That seems to be popular up here.
Yeah.
Give me a piece of the
Who
piece
would
of the
have
hockey team.
been directing traffic on that? Is that Uncle Dennis that was like, just I don't know, doing research that said the hockey team is so valuable that we want a chunk of it? Like, I don't think Kawhi was at a ton of Leaf games. You know,
No, to my knowledge,
That's-
none.
But you just said it. He's like, I heard the hockey team's really popular.
They're popular up
Like,
here.
Give me a chunk of that.
I'll take a piece of the hockey team.
You know what? Do you remember Good Will Hunting when he sends Ben Affleck to the
Yeah, to the interview.
and he's like, what type of cash you got on you? Like that's Uncle Dennis in a room just
Right.
going, I'll take the hockey team, I'll take this and that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And stakes in other MLSE affiliated companies. So I don't know what that means. like property
TFC,
ownership,
like,
TFC, I guess.
Don't they own like a building like
They own a lot of different things.
right downtown, like by 11 restaurant?
Yeah,
there?
they own all the
building?
property around the rink, I believe. Maybe BMO Field. Maybe it was going to be Kawhi Field. He wanted a piece of BMO. He wanted a piece of everything. But asking for a partial ownership in the Maple Leafs is just a wild, wild ask. I have to respect
What if they
it.
gave it to him?
I told you guys like a week and a half ago where I was talking to somebody and said the negotiation asks are outrageous.
Mhm.
Like with properties and different things, transportation. A chunk of the Leafs?
It's so bold. It's great. Not the Marlies.
Yeah.
Not the Marlies.
Yeah.
Right. Not sitting there saying, "I'll take a piece of Coca-Cola Coliseum."
Argo.
I want the
anything,
Leafs.
You name it.
I want a piece of the Leafs. That is just amazing. Speaking of MLSE, they, I guess, had a big announcement. Well, I know they did down at BMO Field. They're partnering up with the Buffalo Bills to.
This is just after we talked about would it be we talked about the amount of Leaf or Toronto people that would have been at that game because everyone was accusing them of being Toronto people leaving early.
leave
Yes.
early.
Well, I understand it for the Bills. Yeah. I totally get it for the Bills.
I find this weird. I got to be honest. I find this weird. This partnership.
I don't get what like MLSE. What are they getting out of this? They're not getting an ownership in the team.
They're not getting games.
They're not getting games. Now, maybe that's a part of the future. I don't know. They're trying.
They're not
setting
doing
up,
that again with a new stadium. What are you talking about? They're not coming back down here.
Well, then what is MLSE getting in this?
I don't know.
Like, what are they? I get that McGrady and Vince and Josie Altidore, now they're part owners of the Bills, or they're involved in ownership, and they have a connection up here. Obviously, this is Pelly, something I'm sure he's worked on, Keith Pelly, pretty quickly since he got there.
Isn't there probably a bigger thing at play here? Like you want to expand, a bunch of the fan base is up here, and maybe it's untapped. And it's like, we've got an opportunity. We know a bunch of fans drive down there. Like, let's find a way. Like, it might be 5 years down the road that we finally go, oh, that's why they did that. But to me, it reeks of something bigger around the corner.
Well, they're not doing anything without money.
Exactly.
And dollar signs. And that's why I find it somewhat off-putting. Bygones are bygones with Vince and McGrady now. It's been a long time. But now they want the Toronto market because they want to make money off the Toronto market. Meanwhile, they could have played for the Toronto market. They couldn't wait to leave the Toronto market. Still, as a sour point for me, that T-Mac and Vince.
So it's ironic they want to come back.
Tracy McGrady couldn't wait to get out of here. And now he's like, I love Toronto, man. Why? Because he's going to make money off it. The same thing with Vince. But, again, I get it for the Bills because they're looking at this. I think this says the NFL's not coming to Toronto. I think we've known that for a long time, but it's not coming to Toronto. It's not happening. Like, the Bills are stable now. The NFL's not going to mess with that market. I think this is the NFL saying, go take claim to all of Southern Ontario.
Yeah, expand, yeah.
So I get it if you're the Bills. Why not? It's a massive market. The NFL's massive up here. But MLSE owns the Argos, and they're trying to work this as some sort of like combo deal between the Bills and the Argos. How is that going to possibly work?
How do the Argos guys feel?
Well, exactly. Like I read that they're going to sell apparel with like the Bills and Argos on it. Who wants that? If you're a Bills fan, why do you want the Argos on your shirt? Or vice versa. If you're the Argos fan, you probably hate the NFL. A lot of like the core Argos and CFL fans, they hate what the NFL represents.
There is a huge separation, but is there a way to marry the two? Is there a way is there any way there could be a pipeline?
If the Bills invest in them.
That's what I mean.
That would be
That's
the
what
win.
I'm saying. Like the win is
you got to come up and invest in the Argos somehow.
The Bills are investing.
But,
hey, we're going to send some. We're going to have a pipeline. We're going to have players back and forth. We're going to do
but it doesn't
things.
work like that. Like there's no minor league system.
Well, it's not.
That's the problem.
They're different sports. Really, you've got 3 downs, 4 downs, all of that.
We got to get my Partsy on the call. He knows. He's a CFL insider.
Yeah, well, Luke is, he's not taking this lightly from a CFL standpoint, like an Argos standpoint.
Well, for sure. Because
MLSE owns the Argos, and they got their eyes on the other football team that, quite frankly, is much more popular in this market than the Argos. Like, that's just a fact.
Yeah.
Like, the Argos have a great history here. There is a core audience that still loves the Argos.
Yes.
This became an NFL market at some point in my lifetime. I don't know when it flipped, but at some point in the last 40 years, it became predominantly NFL-driven, and it's bigger than ever, the NFL up here. And the Bills are they're the biggest team in town. Now, they don't have a monopoly over it. A lot of Packer fans, Steeler fans, Cowboy fans.
Right.
Bills are trying to get in here and own the market. I don't think they're going to be successful in that. But again, I get it from the Bills' standpoint. Anything you can do to get in here to say, we're still in Buffalo, so we're not leaving Buffalo, but we want a piece of Toronto's money or Toronto's marketing. I get it. What is in it for a Toronto fan? What is in it if you're like, as a Packer fan, what do I care about the Bills and the Argos working together?
What was the knock?
Everybody signs a deal. It's like, this is good for me and that's good for you. It's like, what's the good for Toronto here?
Yes, exactly. Like, again, they're like, well, we're going to have youth camps and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
Couldn't you use the Argos to do that?
Yeah.
Like, is Josh Allen coming up?
Yeah,
okay, that'd be kind of cool. But
what was the knock in this market when the Bills played some games here?
No tailgating. People didn't show up. They were bad games.
But it was also a lot of complaining from Western New York.
Prices through the roof.
They were. It was a gouging. It was a pathetic operation.
That's
it was a pathetic way to market to people. It was a complete money grab. That people up here are starved for it, and they're just going to pay it, and they're going to give us our money.
Right.
And then Toronto took the bad hit, like, well, not an NFL town, because the Bills stunk, and the Bills didn't play their part. I guess where I'm going with this is, like, the Bills, they didn't even send up, I don't think their CEO, Pagula, wasn't up here. It's like, if Toronto's such a big market for you, then come on up and express it. But when they came up here 15 years ago, all of them complained. Everyone in Buffalo complained. Well, you're losing games and all that kind of stuff. And now Buffalo wants to come up and take advantage of Toronto or try to get in on the market. And I'm like, why? Like, what? Again, MLSE clearly has some intention of they're making money here somehow. They see something that's going to work. They're going to have I think, watch parties down at Real Sports. That's not going to fly. Like, if you're a true football fan, you want to go, if you're going to a bar, you're going to your own bar. You're going to a gritty bar in your neighborhood, or you're watching it from home. That's going to be, it's corporate. They own it. They're trying to push it. I don't know. I was reading about it today, and I saw Flutie down there and T-Mac and Vince, and I'm like,
I want to see the bigger
I want
picture.
to know what the bigger picture is for Toronto. I get it from Buffalo.
I'm going to reserve.
We're a big market with big money. I get why they want to come up here, but.
Yeah, I want to reserve judgment until I know what's going the other way, like you said.
Mm-hmm. We
know, for us as Toronto fans, like what we would be potentially giving. What's going the other way?
Right.
What is Buffalo bringing?
Like, if it's, hey, we're playing a home game up in Toronto every year.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there's T-Mac. Couldn't wait to get out of here. Couldn't wait.
So there's a prime example.
He was way into that commercial, too, with Grady Dick.
Oh, yeah, he's on there all the time.
Loving
T-Mac's Mr. Toronto now.
Is there everybody, like, you are the voice for Toronto sports, but let's be careful here. You don't love the McGrady thing. Are there people that have moved on from that?
Yeah, listen, I'm not losing sleep over it. He's a businessman. He was a great player.
Right.
Whatever. Like, he's a part owner of the Bills. That's why he's up here. He's got an affiliation with MLSE, clearly.
Right.
MLSE's not going to say you can't be a part of this. Like, that's probably why it's happening, because those two guys are a part of it. Josie Altidor's another one.
Right.
Doug Flutie's there, clearly representing both teams. It's a great connection. But again, if there was an announcement like the Bills are going to play up here one home game a year at BMO Field, okay, there you go. That's great for the market. Bills are coming up.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. But what is it? You're getting hats and T-shirts and watch parties, and what else is coming? Like, what is the purpose of this if you're a Toronto NFL fan?
What are we getting out of it up here?
I don't know.
And you also can't, hemorrhage the fan base for the Argos. Like, that's the thing. The Argos they're the number one football team here, right? Like,
they're the only team here,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So you don't.
But they're owned by MLSE. MLSE stepping on their toes, possibly. Like, they're trying to include them, and again, the apparel. They're going to have both teams, and
there's a bigger
pipeline, and
there's
all
a bigger play here.
I'm sure there is.
Bigger play.
I'm sure there is. We're going to be down at the Argos game next week, right? Maybe we can get some more answers down there. We're excited for that. It's a big game. Friday night, Argos, Alouettes. The Argos are still in the hunt. They're still
fired
in the
up
hunt.
for it.
It's fun. You should be.
Go to the game and bring the family down.
Yeah, it's going to be a great night. Can't wait for it. All right, Confirm or Deny coming up. Jeff Saturday in about 20 minutes. Keegan will join us from the park with Bo going on the 10-day IL. We got a lot. We got some hockey stories today we got to get into, too.
Big headlines.
Headlines.
Quotes that are...
Okay. We'll get into some quotes.
Yes.
All right. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All All right, OverDrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Jeff, Saturday on what happened with J.J. McCarthy last night, what happened to Caleb Williams and the Bears last night. We look ahead to week 2. Got Keegan Matheson coming up from the Dome as well. Jays taking on Houston, and Shane Bieber on the mound, Bo Bichette on the 10-day IL. So the NHL's media tour is continuing. And you mentioned it prior to the break. There's some quotes going out there. We should point out Dustin Wolf signed an extension in Calgary.
Good on him.
7 years, $7.5 million.
I can understand the mixed review. That's a big number. Like you mentioned him, and I even think of it that way. Hellebuck's at like 8 something, right?
8.5, I think.
8.5.
But that's just the world we live in now. The sample size. Like there was a kid that played 56 games for Chicago and got a 7 or 8 year deal at massive money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
56 games. That's all he played.
Keep your own guys. But I will say this. I defend it because I think Wolf is a star in the making, and he's their star. That's like he's their backbone. He's their number one. 24 years old. Like you only, like as a manager, you sleep at night knowing you have a 1. And there's only, 8 or 9 teams that can have that. Mm-hmm. He's a 1. And I think he's just getting better and better. That team had 96 points last year. I think they had like 85 if he doesn't stand on his head.
He's average. They have like 85 points.
Exactly. So I get, and with the cap going to 104, 113, 120 at 7.5 for 7 years.
Well, this is the nature of this salary cap is you get one crack at it to get out in front of players.
Right.
That if you project well, like if you look at a player like Dustin Wolf in this case, and the Flames are saying, we believe you can be a top 10 NHL goalie for the next 7 years,
right?
Then it's brilliant business because if you're paying him 7.5 and the salary cap's $130 million, and he's top 5 or top 7, this could be one of the best deals in the league. So I understand, and I'm a proponent of being aggressive in doing it.
Right.
Now, with goalies in particular, it is a gamble. He runs into injuries. If he becomes a disaster and you're stuck with them and you got to bury the contract or something, they do have the Huberdeau contract already there.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. But beyond that, they're pretty clean in Calgary.
They are.
And Wolf's young, and
I think
it's a big commitment early in his career. But he also was with their American League team for a couple of years, right? Yeah. Like they know him very well.
Guy's MVP of the AHL. Like he's up for Rookie of the Year last. Like he's,
lock him in. You got him. You know what the price is.
And exactly, we've got our replacement for Kiprusoff moving forward, and let's build our team around him. And yes, 7's a rich number, especially in the goaltender circles. And I was thinking about Shesterkin was up for Hart, but isn't he a 12?
11.5 or 12 or something.
12 million.
Yeah.
So if he can get there, I think the biggest challenge for the Flames, is if they let Wolf play one more year. And he has a really good year this year. Now that 7.5 becomes
maybe it's 9 million. That's where you got to be proactive and get out in front of it.
But you're right, goaltending, volatile position.
Got to have faith though, in who, your evaluation. Who you've got, how you feel about them.
Yeah.
The media tour is ongoing, and you see Jack Hughes, I guess, is down there representing New Jersey.
That's a spicy meatball. This guy, what he's saying. I'm sorry if you're in Vancouver.
Well, he was asked about playing with his brother, which is the big thing, right? So he was asked about playing with Quinn.
Yes.
And he just, I'm paraphrasing, but he basically said, I'm not going to hide it. Yes, absolutely. That's the plan. I want to play with Quinn. We've talked about it.
Oh, boy.
And I just don't see it being in Vancouver. That's the issue, is if you're in Vancouver, these are Americans. The two brothers are in New Jersey.
Yes.
Now, Quinn's the oldest, and he's the captain. You'd think he would have sway. You guys come with you both had older brothers.
But Brian,
like if your oldest brother said, you're coming here.
Think about the simplicity. Both of the younger two are on long-term deals, and the other guy's got a year left. Like, do the math, man. It's not that hard. Which guy's going to make the transaction happen?
This is Rick Bush.
Do the math.
I'm trying to be the contrarian here.
Yes, fair.
I'm just saying, you would think the eldest brother would say, wait a minute. I'm the oldest. Yeah. I've been here first. I'm the captain. This is my market. This is my town. If we want to play together, you guys got to find a way to get up here.
Right.
But
Luke is
the
there.
Simplistic. I get it. I understand it. The simple play is Quinn Hughes just signs there in 2 years. Unfortunately, that seems to be the very simple play here. And it opens the door, like, again, I don't blame Jack Hughes because Quinn, I think, has spoken about this.
Right.
But like when Jersey plays in Vancouver, what do you do if you're a fan? Do you boo him?
Well,
do you cheer him and hope you make him feel welcome in Vancouver and hope the younger brothers want to go to Vancouver? How do you handle that?
What makes me feel bad about this is now Jack jams up his older brother because Quinn is going to be asked about it 150 times.
I know, but we always say we like honesty. We want these guys to say something. He could have said, you know what? I just want to play for the Devils, and that's what I do. That's my job. And then everyone would have walked away saying, can you give us a little bit? Like that's the quote we want.
Yes.
That's the quote we want.
We want the quote, but Quinn Hughes doesn't want that.
But does he really? Do we need the quote to know that it's true?
No kidding.
Like we already know.
If you can't put that together, I'm sorry. There's something wrong.
Yeah. And he pointed to it. Jack said, like it's daily news up in Vancouver. Yeah, because what do I always say?
Yeah.
New Jersey. Of course, they're not paying attention. They don't know who Quinn Hughes is. Jersey, they don't have a clue who Quinn Hughes is.
Now you be careful there. The New Jersey's a great market.
I actually saw Sheldon Keefe recently.
Did you?
Yeah, he was in good spirits.
Stop and chat?
Little stop and chat. Yeah, it was good to see him. He said he's ready for a new year. They're jacked up.
No one cares about what people in New Jersey think.
But this is basically Jack almost playing that tape. That yes, of course it's a daily conversation in Vancouver.
Right.
Because they're hockey mad and they love Quinn Hughes.
And they don't want to lose him.
No one cares about what people in New Jersey think.
Maybe that's our tagline. OverDrive. Nobody cares what people in New Jersey think.
No, it's a hall with some plaques. Or what? That's
a hall with some plaques in him.
That's the close enough.
It's a hall with some plaques in there.
That's the OverDrive tagline.
Yes.
It's a hall with some plaques.
It's a hall with some plaques in there. So ignorant.
I feel like Jack knows what and he was being honest. But he just jammed up his older brother.
Yes,
his older brother.
It's coming anyway. The second Quinn Hughes gets there, it's McDavid in Edmonton with his contract, and it's Quinn Hughes in Vancouver with his future.
But you never know what goes on behind the scenes. Quinn might have said, look, I'm not blurting that out, but if you get a chance, maybe you just do it and save me the problems.
Soften the blow.
That's right. Yeah. You're going back to New Jersey, and I got to go to Vancouver. It's a big difference, the blowback.
Right.
So you do it.
And furthermore, you're letting people know this is what's coming. Yeah. And laying it on thick in Vancouver. It's not that I don't love Vancouver. It's that it's my brothers. What do you want me to do? Yeah. Right? Like if my brothers were playing in Calgary, unfortunately, I'd have to go there. Or Edmonton, I'd go there. Or Seattle, I'd go there. They're in Jersey, so I guess I got to go there. Like playing that card, if and when it happens, I guess it's a reasonable thing to digest, right? Like it makes sense.
There is,
but it's not going to it's not going to like dull the sharpness of it because it's going to sting.
It will sting, and they will. He's not going to jam Vancouver up. If he wants to go there, they're going to probably have to put a pretty big package together to get him there. I mean,
you think Jersey will have to trade for him?
Wouldn't you? If you wanted to leave, like you wouldn't want to just jam the organization up that drafted you and developed you.
Oh, really? That's
well.
Think about what you just said.
Yeah.
This is after.
They can get Nicholas Waugh for Quinn Hughes.
Well, they did trade for him. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
That's what they can get, the equivalent of
I better be careful
Nicholas
with my words here. You're right.
Why would you want to jam up the team you loved growing up?
Homegrown, drafted you, developed you.
All right, I walked right
Why
into
would you
that
want
one.
to
I
jam
will
them?
own that. But what I'm saying is there's a lot of like things floating out there. You've got Quinn Hughes. Sounds like 87 in Pittsburgh.
Well, so Pat Brisson, I guess, did an interview with Pierre LeBrun. And Brisson is, a super agent. And he's an agent for Sidney. He's been his agent, I believe, his whole career. And Brisson compared him to Tom Brady, which I think is a very valid comparison in terms of greatness and winning pedigree. And all their characteristics, just they ooze professionalism and winning and character. And he basically said, I want to see Sid. I believe Sid should be playing in the playoffs every year.
Yeah.
So how does that possibly jive with being in Pittsburgh because you're not going to play in the playoffs?
That's saying it all. When he says, I want to see Sid playing in the playoffs, like, look where he's at. That means...
And he's on
the only question is, why did it take these 3 years of missing the playoffs, knowing that you weren't going to make the playoffs? That's the crazy part. As far as the return for the Penguins, like, think about if you were realistic and you took to the approach 3 years ago and said, but what it comes down to is Sid wanting to play in Pitt. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can go to him and say, maybe now's the time. All those guys, but they were all like re-upping contracts, like Malkin and Letang. Like they were signing those deals.
Trading for Hayes.
Kevin Hayes, yeah.
Trading for Kevin.
Carlson.
They tried. They tried. They didn't get the right combination. They haven't made the playoffs in 3 years.
Bottom line is they had a bunch of legacy players there, and they couldn't pull the trigger on a rebuild the proper way to say, okay, guys, it's time to move out. It was let's keep everybody and let's see if we can keep this thing rolling. Basically knowing that was not going to happen.
Right.
Not going to happen.
But now it's even more definitive that Pittsburgh is not
That's the only team that's really open for business right now. Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. Everyone else thinks that they've got a chance, a sniff, whatever. I think Pittsburgh knows where they're at, and they're open for business for bidders.
What's the package look like for Sid?
Name me a team.
Wow. Montreal comes up a lot, clearly, because of his affinity for the market. He loved the Habs growing up. I guess he joked about that today. Someone said, hey, people in Montreal really, and he really love you. And he's like, it could be worse places to be loved or something like that.
Wow. Probably starts with Lane Hudson or something like that.
But you can't do that.
I'm not doing this straight because I don't want the pullback.
It's picks and one of their prospects or two.
Slavkovsky.
No, I don't think it's somebody on their live roster that is playing. Like, it's not that Demidov.
You don't think if you're trading Sidney Crosby, you're not getting a player off a live roster? No way, man.
Well, you'd need the money to work to an extent.
You do, but they just freed up $10.5 million.
Would you do Demidov straight up for Sid right now?
I don't know, man. I not where Montreal is in their progression. I think Demidov.
I'm doing that all day. If it's just one
You're
for
doing
one.
That? You're doing that?
Of course.
I'm not.
To bring in Sidney Crosby into the fold to get a couple of years out of him?
He's a Mount Rushmore player for me.
Mm-hmm.
But is
38.
Demidov's played 10 games.
I know, but is Montreal on the cusp of winning the
point?
Well, does that put him over the top to be in the cusp?
I don't know.
Like Demidov, like a lot of people have high expectations naturally for him. I still don't know exactly what he's going to be.
Neither do I. I don't have a crystal ball.
Sid, I think, has 2 more years of being like elite.
Okay, so is Montreal a cup winner in the next 2 years? I don't see that. I see them as getting better and better, and maybe Demidov is a part of that Lane Hudson progression. We got to get into
Okay.
We'll get into this.
We'll get a little confirm or deny coming up.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'll just throw out Sid trades. Confirm or deny you'd make this trade.
You wouldn't do the Demidov straight up?
I think I would for the story alone. I know that's not
the buzz.
Having Sid at the Bell Center for 2 or 3 years to wrap up his career, him and Suzuki up the middle of the ice that's an unbelievable 1-2 punch.
It is.
All right, confirm or deny Sid trades coming up. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on the TSN app.
This is Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog on TSN 1050.
Hour 2 Overdrive continues, powered by FanDuel, bringing you everything from the opening line to the final score. Best bets later in the hour. Jeff Saturday coming up on the Monday Nighter last night. Vikings find a way to win that game. J.J. McCarthy looked really good at the end of the game. What's up with Caleb Williams? What's up with Ben Johnson? Right? He threw his kicker under the bus after the game because the kicker didn't kick the ball through the end zone, which he should have done. But I'm not sure I love a rookie coach just immediately blaming one guy. Or, he didn't do what I told him to. Could have kept that one behind closed doors. Bit of a hero move.
I think players...
When it's so obvious like that, how can you not?
I don't know. It feels like a lot of, like some coaches with a winning pedigree, like veteran guys, win as a team, lose as a team.
Say, we'll talk about that internally.
Right. Yeah. Didn't love it. We'll deal with it. We all lost the game tonight.
Well, for the guy who everybody wanted, who's known as the next genius, it comes across a little bit like, I'm so smart, and why do you have to be so stupid?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Of course, I told him to do that, but he didn't do it. So, that's why it didn't work out last night. So Jeff Saturday on that and more coming up. And Keegan Matheson from the park later with Shane Bieber on the mound for the Jays Astros tonight. Bo Bichette on the 10-day IL.
Bieber needs a good one tonight.
Concerning Bieber needs a good one tonight. So we'll catch up with Keegan a little bit later on. We've been talking about, some hockey stories here. The Sid stuff is great. Well, you love this. I love talking about Sid and his future.
Pittsburgh people were going after you. Was it last year for some of your comments?
Well, Jamie, it's always been like, stop talking about Sid leaving Pitt, and then stop talking about Sid leaving Pitt, and then it's like, It just comes to a head, and it looks like maybe he is actually going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why? The question comes up, why did it take so long?
Right. And what would be the best landing spot?
Yeah.
Like, how many teams in the league really believe they're one player away from winning? And is it bigger than that, where it's about marketing, it's about entertaining, but also, you know, the ball's in his court. Like, Sid's going to choose where he wants to go. And I guess the same thing with McDavid. You know, we keep talking about Connor McDavid and what's going to happen, and maybe he signs tonight, tomorrow. Maybe he just plays out the year. Who knows? But he's going to dictate what he wants to do with his career.
Until these guys make the decision. So McDavid, until he signs or doesn't sign, we're talking about it. And that's the same thing. Sidney Crosby. Now, Crosby has a contract. He's been in Pittsburgh his whole career. I always come back to, why wouldn't Colorado be all in? Mm-hmm. That's his best buddy. They train together. It's a hell of a team.
Really good team.
They might be a Sidney Crosby away from pushing for a cup.
Yeah.
They've got everything in place.
Rantanen's not there anymore.
Right. But, I mean, that Netchcash or whatever, I'm butchering his name, but he's a player.
Yeah, he's got 1 year left on his deal, though.
But, I mean, I look at it. I think if I was Colorado, I would be all in on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
if I was Toronto, I'd be all in on it.
Of course.
I've said that before. Like, Toronto's got flexibility. Who wouldn't want Sid if you're in a certain...
But I think there's 5 or 6 teams realistically that would be like, yes, we can make this
exactly.
work.
Everybody picks up the phone, but how many people are getting calls?
The crazy one is if Florida somehow got it.
I can't even contemplate
your head would
that.
blow off your butt.
I would probably be sick for a long time.
If the Florida Panthers...
Well, Marchand's his boy, too.
Well, that's
Marchand
right.
was his
They're
boy
tight.
before McKinnon was his boy.
That's true.
Right?
That's what I think about McDavid sometimes. I'm like a Durant, where it's like, you can't beat him, join him. I think about that stupidity sometimes.
I hear you.
Does this guy just think...
That's the equivalent.
Yeah,
I can't win. I can't beat him, so I'm going to join him.
Exactly.
McDavid,
and I
Durant.
think about it, and it's cringeworthy to see...
I know.
Connor McDavid wheeling around as a Panther.
But that he would have to go to free agency did that happen, because I don't know, would Florida have the stuff to trade?
No.
For?
Well, you presume it would be a free agent play, and it's a short-term Durant deal, 2-year deal.
Yeah.
The only
Go
thing
get
about
a cup.
Florida is the clock's ticking. Is goaltender Bob is 37.
Not young. Not
That's the only
young.
thing on the old father time.
Mm-hmm.
Is everything is in place. They got all these long-term deals. The guy on the back end who is as good as anybody and has been as good as anybody in the last couple playoffs, father time's coming for him at some point.
Yes, absolutely.
But that's
the crack in the system there.
right.
Like the depth they have, a lot of these guys are in their prime. Marchand's obviously an exception to that, but he looked great, and he's not expected to be their superstar.
He doesn't have to be a top guy. He has to be.
He'll be on the third line and play 14, 15 minutes a night. It's a perfect landing spot for him. It all falls apart if the goalie falls apart.
Right.
If he gets hurt or just can't play anymore. That's what ended Tampa. Vasilevsky, like that series the Leafs beat them a couple years ago. He was terrible in that series.
Yeah, he didn't play well.
He was terrible.
But that's
what ended their dynasty. It wasn't Kucherov. It wasn't Stamkos or Point.
Vasilevsky's back.
And he got hurt.
Back surgery and all of that. Now, healthy this past year, was really good.
And Florida mopped the floor with them.
Yeah.
Mopped.
Was it 5 games?
Think of 5-game
5 or
series.
6.
Yeah, it was 4-1.
That was a weird series, too. Because Tampa was winning a game 2-0 with like 4 minutes left, and Florida won like 3-2 in regulation.
Right. I think that was game 2 after Florida had won the first game, too, and that basically ended the series.
That was toast at that point.
It was.
Yeah.
And, again, that was kind of the way Monday Night Football played out last night.
Yeah.
Where that first half, I thought the Bears, they look great on both sides of the ball. Caleb Williams is slinging it. He's running. He's mobile. J.J. McCarthy, the lights are too bright. He's not ready for prime time. And then in the second half, the roles completely reversed. And the Vikings end up walking out of there with a win. To chat about it, we're joined now by Super Bowl champ, longtime NFLer, ESPN NFL analyst, joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Here's Jeff Saturday. Jeff, when you look back on that game last night, like which is a bigger story for you? The fact that the Vikings came back to win it, or the fact that the Bears found a way to lose it?
Probably the Vikings winning it. I mean, you think about a rookie quarterback, or first-year quarterback for all intents and purposes, a rookie, and his ability to he throws a pick six, and then his ability to kind of fight through it, kind of bull his neck up and go, oh, no, I'm not going to back down. Guys they usually either fade to the back or make a stand, and he's one of those guys who made a stand. And I thought some of the throws he made were excellent. Some of the reads, I thought as a team you could tell they got more aggressive. They ran the ball well offensively, but their defense, I think they blitzed them 14 times in the second half as opposed to, I think, one time in the first half. So their whole mindset just changed. And so I was very impressed with them being able to come back. And again, some of the errors that the Bears made, they'll look back and hate themselves, because we all do as players when we lose a lead like that. But it wasn't like they were clicking on all cylinders. They didn't run the ball well. And if you look at Ben Johnson, when he's had so much success in Detroit, a ton of it was predicated on they could run the ball extremely well, and that opened up the play action and explosive plays. Well, if you're not running it well, it's going to be really hard to create those things. Now, there were some that Caleb missed, but I think they'll all go back from coaching staff and players and go, man, we had opportunities to put the nail in the coffin and just unfortunately didn't do it.
How rare is it for a quarterback like McCarthy to start out looking nervous, as Brian just said? It looked like the lights might be a little bit too bright, and then have that turnaround. Usually when it's going south, it just goes down the gutter, but he just completely turned it around, Jeff.
100%. And to your point, not even just the players, but usually coaches, they start to get conservative and go, we want to try to just get out of here with it and not look bad. Let's figure ways out. And nobody did. I mean, the whole staff, the whole team, like there was no back down, no blink. They just kept fighting, man. And you saw the momentum changed, and once the momentum changed, Chicago just couldn't find their way back to it.
In terms of the Caleb Williams conversation, that was a driving force going into the game. It's going to be a driving force coming out of it. First overall pick. I saw, I believe, on ESPN today. I think you guys were talking about, redrafting. Would it be Caleb or JJ if you could go back to the draft a couple of years ago, which I think says something about the way McCarthy played last night, but ultimately the way Caleb Williams played last year. The stories that are coming out, anonymous comments about his work ethic and working with him last year, and then the way he performed in the second half last night. If you're a Bears fan, how concerned are you with where Caleb Williams currently stands?
I'm actually encouraged after last night. Now, to your point, I don't know anything about anonymous. It's always hard for me to listen. If a guy will put his name on it, I'll listen. Oh, okay, this guy really does know. But when I hear all those things, the rumors about players, I tend to kind of not buy. But I will say this. Remember, Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson have been together about 5-6 months, right? Let's be real. Like, they have not been together a very long time. J.J. McCarthy spent a year basically rehabbing his leg with no pressure, listening to Sam Darnold and Kevin, KOC hash out game plans, go through progressions, figure out, hey, this is what I would do, this is what I wouldn't do. Caleb, this is his fourth offensive coordinator in 18 games. That's basically like learning 4 new languages. You know what I mean? So I think part of that's a bit unfair when you talk about, and I said this on air, when you talk about redrafting, I want to know who's coaching. Right? If it was Ben Johnson at the beginning with Caleb Williams, maybe that looks totally different now than what he was thrown into versus J.J. McCarthy going into KOC, who we all know has done a tremendous job with all his quarterbacks. And so it's always hard for me to go, oh, well, I would redo something or I would change something. There's some qualities that Caleb Williams have that are special. You saw some of them last night, but there's some habits that he created over the past year, and even some when he was in college that have to be broken. Not unlike many players that come to the NFL. I think Ben Johnson is the guy to do that. I mean, if there was anybody I was going to trust to get my quarterback right, I think the two guys we saw coaching last night, can have some feathers in the cap of what they can do. So I'm not writing off Caleb Williams. I'm not writing off the Bears. I was actually encouraged by Ben Johnson. And I know, listen, it was his first rodeo as well. He didn't make all the right calls, right? Some of the things they did some of the conservative things they did I didn't love. But it's hard, man. That's a different seat that he's never been in as well. And so they're kind of learning together.
So after watching the night previous, how was last night's experience? I mean, what do you make of that Baltimore-Buffalo game? I mean, the game of the year, and you're 1 week in, not even.
Unbelievable, right? Like how lucky are we that you get to see that? And I'll say this: I said this earlier today on air as well. It really reminds me of when I was with the Colts and the Patriots, right? We were the two top teams in the AFC, and whoever won the game early, most likely we were going to have to play at their place for the playoffs. And so that's the same way I saw week one. Now, Buffalo obviously has a much better or much more favorable schedule than Baltimore. And Baltimore, man, they shot themselves in the foot. Like no different really than the playoff game. And Buffalo took full advantage. And you cannot give Josh Allen, you can't give that offense that many touches. And as the game went on, and they knew they were still in reach, that you saw them, boy, they were making some plays. And so I think those are the two best teams in the AFC, honestly. I said that today as well, and I do believe that. But Buffalo, the playoffs right now are going to run through Buffalo. I just, unless something catastrophic, I just don't see Buffalo falling off and somebody else catching them, because they're a good football team, and they got a lot they can get after this season.
Well, I noticed you if you're saying Buffalo and Baltimore are the two best teams in the AFC, then that's not the Kansas City Chiefs, and they lost week one. On the other side of the NFC, the top seed last year in the NFC, the Detroit Lions, they lost in embarrassing fashion. Chiefs or Lions, who should be more scared of what they saw on Sunday or this past week? Lions?
Yeah, Lions. Yeah, I mean, they lost three really good coaches, right? The two coordinators, and now they bring in John Morton, and who's calling the plays, and they looked very stagnant. They did, their offensive line didn't look good. They couldn't run it. They couldn't get any explosive plays. The score was not nearly what 27-13 looked like. And so that I would probably be more concerned that way if I'm Detroit, because they have, the only thing that changed was the OC, right, in DC. Like that, like players are pretty much. I don't mean you don't mean like you get attrition in the NFL no matter what, but the dudes, right? Like when we talk about dudes, their guys are there, and they were not productive, and so. Kansas City, they found so many different ways to win over the past 4 or 5 years. It's hard for me to write them off. I'm scared for their receiver position. Golly, like how much can you ask of a guy? Mahomes is incredible, but like at some point you got to surround him with something. And these guys getting suspended and injured, it's just hard to do that week in and week out in the NFL. Not if anybody can do it, they can, but I think it's going to be hard for them to match points. And because their defense didn't play nearly as well as I guess I expected against the Chargers. So, but if I'm picking between those two of who would I be more concerned, it was Detroit.
Lions' schedule also is
tough,
fallacious.
Man. Their road schedule is really brutal. Well, the Chiefs have the Eagles in town this week, and it just broke this hour that Jalen Carter is just going to be fined. He will not be suspended for spitting on or spitting at Dak Prescott. Are you at all surprised that he's not suspended for that beyond the game he got kicked out of?
No, I'm not. I mean, I thought because obviously he didn't play it down in week one, so I'm sure the league is counting that basically as a suspension, and now they're going to hit him with cash, and I'm sure they've put the fear of God in him about if it happens again, what would happen. So because it escalates right under whatever the penalty is. But no, I didn't expect him to get any suspension beyond being kicked out of the game. I think it may have been different if it was, into the fourth quarter or maybe even third quarter. Maybe you have a different conversation. But, I mean, basically he already missed one game, and they're going to fine him, and now, you move on, and he gets back to playing.
Absolutely. What a game that's going to be. And Thursday night we got Green Bay, Washington. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that, right? Like, where do you – I love the way Green Bay looked. I love the way they looked the other day. You said what you said about Detroit, which maybe dampens what we saw at Green Bay a little bit, but do you think, the Packers are in the driver's seat as of Thursday night with Washington coming to town?
I do. I like what that. Micah Parsons, their defense, good gracious. I mean, they flat out got after it. And I think Jordan Love, I think LaFleur is a great play caller, and he's going to get the most of his guys offensively. So I like where they are. I think about the Commanders, how Jaden Daniels, like that offensive line with Jaden Daniels against this Packers front, I couldn't be more fired up, right? Like I look at those kinds of things. I look at even Kansas City and the Eagles. Like I want to see Chris Jones and that the Eagles O line. Like those are the things that fire me up, right? Like the skill guys, okay, we're all going to have fun, but we got some battles this week coming up, Colts and Broncos. So there's a number of really good games week 2 that I am teed up for and excited to see.
Cannot wait for it. Enjoy it, Jeff. Great catching up with you.
Great talking to you guys. Have a great afternoon.
You got it. Jeff Saturday of ESPN joining us here on the Maple Toyota Hotline. Already into week 2. Ooh. And that is a sign of, like, athletes, they generally see their sport through their own point of view. Like, I'm sure, Noodles, you're looking at the goalies differently. Oh, you'd be looking at wingers and goal scorers, and Saturday's looking at, like, linemen and how they're doing things. And I love that.
Yeah. Is it overreaction right now? Like, is it overreaction Monday, overreaction Tuesday?
Of course, man. Like, I'm telling the Lions are getting hit.
So that's the biggest what's the biggest overreaction right now? Is it Kansas City?
Kansas City's getting hit. Like, Worthy is hurt. Detroit is really getting hammered because of who they lost to.
Right.
Although Kansas City lost to a divisional opponent as well.
Right.
But the Lions have beat Green Bay at Lambeau 3 years in a row. They've owned the division the last couple of years. And they looked really bad, and Green Bay looked really good.
They didn't even look like themselves.
No,
not
they
even
did
close.
not look good. And I think the fear in Detroit is they had 30 years of nothing.
Right.
And is the window closed already?
Start getting a taste of something good.
You're right there, and it's like, we got it. And then all of a sudden they lose a really embarrassing game in the playoffs to Washington. Right. Really embarrassing the way that game played out for them. And now you worry that maybe the window's closed. We'll see. They got I think they got the Bears at home this weekend.
That's the thing, though.
It happens quickly.
The word window closed after one game.
Week. I know. It's absurd. It's crazy. It is. I get it. All right. Jays Astros tonight. We'll head down to the park, catch up with Keegan. What happens with Bichette now on the 10-day IL? What can we expect out of Bieber tonight? Shane Bieber on the mound for the Jays. We'll get to our best bets later in the hour. Sprinkle in some confirm or denies. Overdrive continues. TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Now, back to Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
I can neither confirm or deny that this is in fact a segment.
Austin trades Andrew Raycroft to Toronto in exchange for the rights to Tuukka Rask.
It's been my honor and a privilege to serve as the general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs Hockey Club.
It's time for Confirm or Deny.
Do you regret giving all those gentlemen the no trades or no movement clauses?
Well, I can neither confirm or deny that.
I can't confirm or deny.
All right, confirm or deny here. We should start with the football one. We did just get into this with Jeff Saturday, but let's get a little bit crazy here. Yeah. Confirm or deny, one of the Lions or the Chiefs will miss the playoffs.
I'm confirming that.
After one game?
I am, after one game. One of them might miss the playoffs, and I think it might be Detroit.
The NFL's a wild scene,
It is. It gets ugly quickly, and if you go spiral and it goes down, you could be in massive trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I'm denying it. I mean, the Chiefs will get it together.
I mean, I could look stupid in 7 weeks, but
I'm going to confirm it too.
You're
man.
confirming it?
I think I'm thinking of confirming it.
Dan Campbell, you can't.
The NFL, it's a thin line, man.
Yeah,
like, listen,
really
even
is.
the Chiefs deserve the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
They've been to 5 Super Bowls with Mahomes. They've won 3 of them. They won 15 games last year. At some point, their defense is going to come back to earth a little bit. Like, it's just going to have an outlier year where it just doesn't work. There's injuries. Right. Mahomes, without weapons, just has a down year. The O-line, like, I'm talking like 9-8, they just miss. Would not be shocking.
Yeah.
Not in, like
coordinators
in terms of,
on both ends is a big thing. Chemistry not looking right.
Where are you at with Detroit then?
So Detroit scares me even more. I said that coming in. I was doing SportsCenter stuff in the summer. I said they're not winning the division, and I think they're in for a big step back into reality.
Yeah,
here.
like a market reset.
Yes, because of their schedule, because of the division they play in, because of the coordinators. They've lost their center. You know, they still have a lot of talent there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of turnover in Detroit. And there's a lot of pressure on Dan Campbell to make sure it works for them.
I'm denying it.
Okay. That's reasonable. I think you're being reasonable. I think the two of us are being...
Is that wishful thinking?
Probably reactionary, but you give me 2 tickets on a possible one. That doesn't mean they're going to win 5 games or something.
Right.
But 9-8, you probably don't get in. I could see a 9-8 in Detroit. That wouldn't shock me if they were 9-8 and just missed. All right. Confirm or deny. I don't know if we got into this story. Maybe you guys did last week. Confirm or deny. The Ottawa Senators made the right call to go with the Ridley Gregg bobblehead night. You guys hear about this? Ridley Gregg shooting into the empty net that led to Morgan Riley.
I'm confirming it's the right call. Spice it up a little bit. Why shy away from that? It's a great thing to do. Why, you think it's stupid?
No, I'm confirming it.
Yeah, I think it's
bobbleheads
awesome.
are for your fans.
Yes.
They don't care if Leaf fans look down on this or think you're a loser or whatever, or if Morgan Riley's got an issue with it.
When Ottawa's in town, do a Morgan Riley cross-checking the guy in the head.
That's exactly what should happen.
Yes.
Suspension video.
Yeah.
A Morgan Riley cross-checking him in the head bobblehead night.
Yeah.
That would be actually great.
I'm confirming it's the right call.
It's your market. You're placating to your fans.
Exactly. And the Ottawa Senators fans loved it.
Yes. And hate the Leafs with such a passion.
Like that's their the Battle of Ontario is back on. Ottawa made the playoffs. They held up their end of the bargain. You said that how many times last year?
Right.
It was the Leafs had been making the playoffs, Ottawa didn't. Now they're at a point where now they're going to be battling in the Atlantic and be battling for points.
That's right.
Like
that's right. And it's important that it was against the Leafs, clearly.
Exactly.
That's why it mattered in Ottawa.
Yeah.
That's why. If he shot into an empty net and Josh Manson chased him down and did that, it wouldn't matter as much.
Yeah.
But it was Morgan Riley. It was the Leafs. It was a crazy story. Leaf fans were going nuts. Yeah. Ridley Gregg plays that role very well.
He does. Yeah,
and
it's a
bobblehead.
But it's
not the new logo.
It's topical, and it's got us talking about it. It's got everybody talking about it.
It's a smart marketing play.
I love it.
It's a smart marketing play in Ottawa. Saturday night bobblehead giveaway.
He's got this. Now, are you 100% sure that that's the slap shot into the empty net?
I guess.
Right?
It is.
Are they playing the Leafs that night? Do we know is it against the Leafs?
Saturday, yeah.
Oh, they're playing Florida that night.
January 10th. I got to see.
I guess you don't want to do it when the Leafs are in town because a lot of Leaf fans show up for that. It's kind of a bad look if you give the bobblehead out and half the fans are in Leaf jerseys and throwing it on the ice.
No, it's
probably can't do that. Yeah. It's against Florida.
The Canucks are in here. Your Quinn Hughes will be in here. We will be discussing Quinn Hughes that
Quinn Hughes
will
be rolling through Toronto, absolutely, on the 10th of January.
Yeah.
All right, confirm or deny. Let's move past the Tiger one. We did Tiger.
Yeah.
Confirm or deny, there's room for Easton Cowan and Nick Robertson to be regulars in the Leaf lineup this season.
I'm going to deny that. One of them, yes. Two of them, I would say no. Because they both have to get some ice time to do anything productive. So are you going to bury one of those guys on the fourth line to be a role player? It just doesn't make sense. I think one of them, not two.
I'm going to deny it as well because of their body type. Smaller guys, skilled, shooter, all of that type of stuff.
And need to play.
And need to play. Their age. I just think if Cowan bullies his way in, it might be at the expense of Robertson, not with both of them there. And you see the way that Tree has built the team. He wants bigger, meatier guys, brought in Joshua on that. Both of those guys are not big guys, right? Like can handle themselves, but I'm just saying, like, I look at it, they might be more alike as opposed to.
Yeah, I think so. They both shoot left. They're both going to play the wing to start their careers.
I don't know if there's
anyway.
enough room for them.
I would confirm it with a caveat that this is during the regular season. I don't see them playing both of them in the playoffs.
Right.
But, the regular season can be different. If the goal scoring falls off, that's a part of this conversation. Like with Marner gone, if they have issues goal scoring this year, which I don't believe they will, but if they do, they might need both these guys. You might need Robertson to play and score, but I'm not sure it will work either because, like Berube was talking about it today in an interview with Jonas in The Athletic, and was pointing to that with Joshua here and Waugh here, big bodies, they've added size. And he did not fully commit to Nick Robertson.
Well,
he said, hey, it's a competition. There's a lot of competition in camp. Go prove you can be a part of this team.
If you just look at the depth chart on Puckpedia or Daily Faceoff, any of the websites, okay, who's coming out, and you can make a case for people to come out, but Cowan has to push somebody out, and Robertson, if you have on the left side, Nyes, Domi, Joshua, Lorentz. Now, Lorentz is a fourth-line left winger, correct? Mm-hmm. In and out of the line.
Bobby McMahon probably on the left.
McMahon, well, they have him on the right side,
Sure.
but again, who's playing the right side is Michelli, Nylander, McCann, Yarncroke. Those guys are NHL players.
Mm-hmm.
Like, somebody's got to come on. Down the middle, Matthews, Tavares, Waugh, Lawton. That's not including Kampf. That's not including, Robertson, Cowan. Lots of players kicking around. They have to push one of these guys out. That's not written in stone. But there is opportunity, but I don't see two of them pushing them out.
No, it's true.
One.
And what they're going to do with Yarncroke and Camp, that's going to be awkward day one. Because those guys, everyone has just assumed they'll be out of here, and they're not.
No, you got to find takers, man.
Yeah.
You can't just say you're out of here. Well, you can.
But Yarncroke, what if he shows up healthy and looks, this guy scored 20 goals in the league. Like, he's a pretty good player when he's healthy.
Never
Just hasn't been healthy.
Never healthy.
So what
Camp
if he shows
is
up
just
healthy?
clearly Berube's not a fan. Like, Camp was healthy last year. He just didn't play.
Yeah.
Camp isn't a separator.
That's a Berube issue.
He's not a separator. Like, the way I look at it is he doesn't do anything extremely well that would separate him from somebody else.
I don't disagree. I'm not being a booster. I'm just saying, like, Keefe liked him, Berube didn't. And Berube's still the coach, so Camp is in trouble.
Yeah.
I think it's basically, the math here.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got some news out of the Blue Jays today. Wasn't the best news that Bo Bichette has been placed on the 10-day IL.
Not the best.
Not the best.
Yeah.
Is that spicy pork?
Louis Domingue, not the best.
Not the best.
I love Louis Domingue. OT, remember?
Double
he went in there?
OT.
Double OT winner.
Yeah, somebody asked him, I think it was Emily Kaplan, what did you eat? And he was like, spicy pork and
broccoli.
Yeah.
It's like not the best.
Not the best.
Not the best. Not the best.
Yeah.
I was in New York, right?
It was in New York. It was double overtime against
Chinatown and picked him up
Pittsburgh.
some
They brought it into the dressing room because guys were like, needed pizza, needed something, because it was like a 3 or 4 overtime game.
It is a great city to be in if you need food on the fly.
And
though.
I think Louis went in because the starting goaltender, I think it was Jari,
he got
seized
cramped up.
Yeah.
And Louis went in there with his spicy pork.
Yeah.
And
Not
stood
the
on
best.
his head. All right. Anyway, not the best that Bo's going to be on the 10-day IL. Let's head down to the Rogers Center. Jays Astros tonight. Here's Keegan Matheson of MLB.com. Was this a surprise at all for you, Keegan, that Bo ends up on the IL?
Yeah, guys, it was. I mean, it was surprising that he finished that game Saturday when he came back in after the rain delay. And I figured that yesterday it was just a regular day off. You had 2 out of Monday. I didn't think this was coming today. And it's hard to overstate how tough this news is, guys. He's their hottest hitter. They need him in the middle of the lineup. There's no way around it. And this one caught me off guard. I thought it was just a cut-up shin, but sounds like he woke up a bit sore the last couple of days. They did an MRI. You found the sprain. And right now, all we know is that he's not going to do anything this week, and they don't have a timeline from there. So it's a pretty worrying one, guys. One of your most important players, 19 games left, tight race. There's no good news out of this one.
How sincere were the old next man up, we got to find a way to get the job done comments?
Extremely. It was like the "Oh, Captain, my captain" scene in that movie. You know, everyone's standing on the desk, raising their fist. It's going to happen, man. It's got to be everybody, because there's no top prospect. There's no next big thing in AAA. Like, all the guys are here right now. It's got to be somebody in that room. And as much as you want to believe that Isaiah Kiner Falefa or Ernie Clements are going to come light the world on fire, it's probably got to be every single player doing 5% better. And that's not a fun answer. It's not an exciting answer, but it's what they're stuck with right now. And frankly, guys, that's what everyone will point to, the whole roster needing to be better. I pointed Vladdy. Vladdy needs to go in a heater, period. Like, this is the time to do it. Your running mate is down. This is your team. You signed the big contract. These are some of the biggest games of your career. Go nuts. Like, this is when the Blue Jays need Vladdy. This next couple of weeks, man, if he puts the team on his back right now, that changes every conversation we have about this team going into the playoffs. And, man, it is time right now.
I totally agree. Yet I think Vladdy would say I did my part at Yankee Stadium, and we still lost 2 or 3.
Yeah.
He was great down there. So that has to continue, clearly. I guess you need to pretend as if the Rogers Center is Yankee Stadium because he loves that park. But I agree with you. I think this is a perfect opportunity for him because Bichette's out. And there's still 2 games up on the Yankees. They have the tiebreak on them. You got 19 games left, 12 games at home. It's a big hit, but I don't think the expectation should change this deep into the season, Keegan, that they need to hold on to the American League East. Like, even without Bo, that should not be an excuse. Bieber's got to give him a game tonight. Vladdy's got to be great. Springer's got to keep playing well. They've defended well throughout the season. Go get it.
Oh, exactly. And there's already been, I think, a bit too much talk about, okay, this team has overcome a lot already, dealt with so many injuries. Not any more than anyone else.
Right, exactly.
Everybody deals with injuries. I mean, come on. It's not a tragic season by any means. Frankly, a lot of things have gone right. And they've gotten to this point because they deserve to be here, period. And this is not the Lakers losing LeBron. This is not a superstar carrying a team. He's a damn good player, absolutely. But there's a lot of other players who are going to impact every single game along the way here. And the expectation still needs to be winning the East. And on top of that, guys, which is topical with the Astros being here, the expectation needs to be top 2 spots in the American League, because then you get to bypass the wild card round and skip right to the ALDS. The ALDS has given this team fits. Man, we think back to that ugly Mariners loss here when it completely fell apart. Think back to in Minneapolis, Berrios coming out for Kikuchi. They get shut out, that mess. They've gone 0-2 in every one of the 3 wildcard rounds they've been in this decade. It doesn't work. They need to be skipping to the ALDS, and that can't change just because Bo Bichette's out. It's a little tougher, but you take turns in this game. He is one of those 9 turns. He's not a pitcher either. Mm-hmm. You've got a lot of other guys who should be able to win big league ball games here.
What's the latest on Anthony Santander?
Well, fellas, it is now not the shoulder; it is the lower back.
Oh,
and
you got to be
unbelievable. This
They're
guy.
Calling it tightness. I think it kind of locked up on him a bit from taking a bunch of swings, which I guess the old lower back was not used to after how this year's gone. He was supposed to be tentatively, maybe asterisk in the lineup in AAA Buffalo tonight. He's obviously not there. If it's tomorrow or the next day, yeah, you've probably got enough time to still pull this thing off. Remember, the AAA season does not go to the end of the month. I think it's September 20 or 21, right around there. You don't have a ton of baseball games left to work with. He hasn't played baseball in 3, getting close to 4 months. He needs to get into some real games and do it regularly. You don't have many left. So ideally, this is just a 1 or 2 day thing, guys. But the fact we have talked about Santander 100 times since he last played in the game suggests that these things can linger with him. We'll see how it goes, but another one I wasn't expecting today. I thought we were going to be talking about him batting cleanup as the DH in Buffalo. He's not there.
Feeling better about the relief pitching?
A little bit. You know, down in New York, you saw Ryan Baracki, Brendan Little, a couple of these depth guys looking a little bit better. But for me, guys, it still needs to be the big dogs. Like, that's all you care about at this point. I care about Sir Anthony Dominguez, Louis Varland, and I care about Jeff Hoffman more than anything. Because in the playoffs, ideally, you're getting 6 out of your starter, and you're throwing workloads and who's tired out the window. It doesn't matter anymore. You're trying to go to your best 3 or 4 guys every single day. No matter how tired they are, you've got to go to your best guys. And Tommy Nance is another who's been fantastic lately, and he's in the middle there. So I want to see a few big outings out of them. So far, a bad bullpen can screw up any team. I don't care how good you are. They've looked a little better lately, but they've got to be rock solid. That's another thing with Bo out, guys. The defense, the pitching, the bullpen, it needs to be airtight, because if one other thing starts to wiggle on this thing, it gets ugly. If you're without Bo, you've got to be really locked down across the board.
Well, and Shane Bieber's got the task of, going those 6-7 innings tonight, and he's been good.
Yep.
So we'll see what he's got tonight. It should be a big series. It's going to be a big series. That's the beauty of baseball in September when you're in a pennant race. Every single game matters. Starting tonight, 19 more for the Blue Jays. All right, Keegan. Enjoy it, buddy. We'll do it again later in the week.
All righty, fellas. Take care. We'll talk soon.
Keegan Matheson, MLB.com. I love Santander now. Back.
My back's sore.
Yeah. How'd you hurt it? Doing my job, swinging. And
everybody else in the clubhouse that's gutting it out on the field right now, they're looking at that guy that hasn't played, and it's like, oh, you're injured again by not playing? Come on, man.
Right.
Like, we're dying out here.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That would rub people the wrong way.
Yeah.
It does.
It's a bad, I don't know.
You don't want to paint him like the Verbatim rush.
No, you can't judge because you never know in pro sports, but it's like, really, man, we're dying out here, and this is so critical, and you could be helpful.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Well, and the owner and the management, they're looking at him saying, seriously?
Yeah.
We gave you $90 million. You haven't played all year, and now your back is flaring up. You can't go down to Buffalo. And it also speaks to just watching other guys take bats, like Kiner Falefa. Ty France has really cooled down. It's like, I don't really need to see him at the plate anymore in big situations.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind the option of Santander stepping in there.
It tests your depth. Like, when everybody else is on a heater and everybody kind of comes back down to earth a little bit, and if it happens at the same time.
Trouble.
It is trouble because now you're looking and go, okay, well, a bow injury. Now all of a sudden, now you need Vladdy to step up. You need, everybody else, the Springer, everybody to keep going. But man, the depth gets challenged.
It does. Like, Lucas tonight. You got Clement playing short, Barger playing third. Your defense is going to get hit a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's yet again in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Like we've been saying,
they're in the driver's seat.
They're in the driver's seat, and that's what matters. All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel coming up. Overdrive continues, TSN 1050 and on TSN 2.
Overdrive with Hayes, Noodles, and the O-Dog.
All right, Best Bets powered by FanDuel. Make your picks and assemble a same-game parlay in seconds on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. I think it's going to be a pitching duel tonight. A shutout. It's going to have a playoff feel to it.
Sure.
Feels like a 3-2 game, 4-3. I'm on the under. It's a low amount of runs. It's only 8. So I'm going to parlay that with the under 0.5 runs in the first inning total. And see a 3 up, 3 down on both sides. I think Bieber deals tonight.
Think so?
I like having Bieber on the mound tonight. So those are your plays. Under and under in the first inning, paying about plus 160. FanDuel's Best Bets. The first inning means as much as the ninth when you bet baseball on the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Please play responsibly, 19 plus, physically located in Ontario. So, we'll see what comes out of the Jays game tonight. Got week 2 of the NFL on Thursday. And getting close to the Ryder Cup. It's going to be fun, man.
Honestly,
it's going to be a fun couple of weeks coming up.
We're right around the corner, too, from news trickling out, like NHL camps. Not big signings, but all the type of stuff. Just a little comment
PTOs,
here,
you think? PTOs?
I think there are PTOs. Like, there's still a couple good players out there. Jack Roslovic's a good player.
What's he waiting for?
Well, probably.
Someone's offered him something, I would presume.
Sure, but at his age.
How old is he?
I think he's 29, 30.
Yeah, he's Matthew's age. Like, they were in the U.S.
So what I'm saying is,
program together.
Sure, San Jose has an offer for him for $4 million, but do you want to go play there? Yeah. Or do you want to try? Well,
if I'm 30, I'm going there for $2 million.
Yeah.
Okay. But
28.
what I'm saying
team up with Celebrini.
There might be another team sniffing, going, I like you, but I don't want to spend $4 million. I want to wait for your asking price to come down to 1 or 2. Because I think there's lots of teams that take Roslovic on a lower deal, right?
Yeah, and term is important too.
Well, yeah, I think I would, if I'm Toronto, if I'm Edmonton, if I'm some of these teams, Colorado, teams like that, I'd go, yeah, come, 1-year deal, $2 million. Give me the Jonathan Drouin. Give me something like that. Go and play.
Prove who you are. Maybe put incentives into it.
But come play for us. We're a good team. You'll build up, your brand again and go at it. But I think the teams that we talked about are also waiting for the trade market to heat up, so they don't want to blow all their money on a guy that they like but don't love.
Mm-hmm. Now that's presuming the trade market ever truly develops.
I think it's going to develop.
It never does.
They haven't done. Nothing has happened in the league.
Well, speaking of that,
nothing.
With the comments from Sid and the idea that maybe it happens in the future, when is the best time for it? Like, is it trade deadline?
I think it's trade deadline. for a guy like that, because you can get him for 2 playoff runs under his contract status.
Do you think I got to believe?
And it gives him time to say goodbye to Pittsburgh and all that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Keep in mind.
But why wouldn't he do that during the summer?
No,
I guess
I
that
mean,
ship has
like,
sailed.
If he's gonna go, and that's a big if,
right?
Like he would want to play in front of the Pittsburgh fans and say his goodbye and do I don't know. He would want to do that.
He's very loyal, clearly, to Pittsburgh.
And keep in mind, the fans will go. They're watching the team not make the playoffs. Part of them is going to want to say, go. And we want to get some assets for you and kind of blow it up here and do what we need.
Well, and if he goes, Malkin's going to go at the deadline this year.
Right. Now, what if those guys have?
They might only have 1 year left, or so. I don't know what they have, but it's not a lot.
They have signed 4-year deals.
Right.
So I think they might have one extra than Sid, but
so maybe it makes it more complicated. But
Erik Karlsson's a spicy one too. By all accounts,
Karlsson could be had. Karlsson could be had.
He has been available. It's just a difficult. It's a difficult thing to pull off with the money.
If you make him a $5 million defenseman.
Well, that's the thing, Jamie. Whatever you do with the money, have you watched the guy play the last couple of years? It hasn't exactly been all that great.
They brought him in, and they had a guy there. Like the exact same, like you had Letang there. Both of them quarterback the power play. They're both a right shot.
No kidding. And it was so weird when he came in and Letang was sitting on the bench in the power play the first year, and Karlsson was quarterbacking it.
Yeah.
It was like San Jose when he got there, and Burns was there.
Yeah. But he had a 100-point season in
a few
San
years
Jose.
ago he did.
Yes,
he did. I think what you'd be banking on is him, he's not a superstar anymore. He's got that name. But if you just blend him in, he's on your second pair, and he's a power play guy, he can still move the puck.
Dude,
still got no pulse on the ice.
Why not?
Well,
the Leafs?
The Leafs are an interesting one because he's
what has
a
he got
puck
left
mover.
years-wise?
He's got 1 or 2 years anyway. I mean, he signed an 8-year deal in San Jose.
Yeah. I mean,
he's got a couple of years, I believe.
Right now, would he be the most talented defenseman on the Leafs? From handling the puck?
Yes, if he's on his A game.
Talented, if you're going by talent, he would be the most talented guys on a lot of decors.
100%. But what I'm saying is, like, I look at it, and I'm not trying to start a rumor for him to hear, but what I'm saying is, Toronto has a lot of the same type. Like you said, Ottawa, Sniffle, they've got Sanderson and Shabbat. Like, both of those guys play power play. Like, I don't think he would be a fit there. I look at it, other teams, like they got Bouchard. Like, they've got, Colorado's got Makar. Like, a lot of teams have guys that he needs to play to his strengths.
Right.
His strength is having a solid defensive guy and then somebody who,
well, in the Leafs, like Riley would be the guy at the.
I think Riley's going to have a great year this year. I do.
I hope he has a big bounce back year.
I do.
I think he's very capable of doing it.
Right.
I think Karlsson would be ahead of him clearly in terms of quarterbacking a power play and all that.
Right.
But I can understand why GMs around the league are looking at it that, okay, what if Sid is available? What if Karlsson?
Right.
What if some of these big UFAs get to the market next year?
Right.
Like they didn't this past year. Like no one left outside of Marner. Marner's the only guy that left. Nobody else left. For the most part, everyone stayed, like the big names.
Yeah.
But what if, McDavid gets there? What if Kyle Connor gets there? What if Eichel gets there?
Kyle Connor.
What if Kaprizov goes, you know what, actually, I don't want to be in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Like that, those are monster contracts. You got to have a lot of flexibility for those guys.
Noodles had the comment of the show today when he said, why would you want to jam the team up that drafted and developed you? And
I immediately.
It's my favorite thing ever said on the show.
You know how you see words coming out of your mouth and you're trying, like I would wanted to grab them and put them back in?
Yeah.
I did. I wanted to do that.
Leaf fans are just driving around listening to that saying, I got a guy for you.
That's on me. But I wasn't even heading that direction. That's how I've moved on. Put it that way. That's how I've been able to move on. It's like, hey, let's look forward, not back.
I like that.
But that's on me.
I like that mentality.
Well, yeah.
Moving forward.
Until you both looked at me like, we've got an example for you. And I was like, oh, my God, I'm so sorry.
Mitch is down there in Vegas and doing the whole thing. Yeah. He's doing the media tour. And
20-minute drive.
Yeah.
20-minute drive.
It's number 93, Doug Gilmour.
JP just pointed out we said his name.
Yeah, we did.
I think we have every day.
We didn't say it yesterday, did we?
Yeah, the contest
JP,
stinks.
is that correct? Every day we said it? Yeah.
I don't think we did yesterday.
I don't believe his name came up yesterday.
I think that's fake news.
He's making things up.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see if we can get through another one tomorrow without naming
names.
Yeah, he who shall not be named.
All right.
All right. Good stuff. Thanks to everyone behind the scenes for hopping out. We appreciate it. Everyone for tuning in today. TV, radio, podcast, web, up on YouTube Live on TSN's YouTube channel. We're out of here. Enjoy your evenings. Enjoy the games tonight. We're back tomorrow at
4 p.m.
We'll chat then.